Got up in the 3rd round and also got up in the 5th round. So that is something that normally Letterlough's opponents do not do once he lands those clean shots, is get back up. But Gonzalez has shown an ability, like Letterlough, to get up off the deck.
You heard it from the mouth of Letterlough. Part of his fight, with his lack of experience, lack of developed skills, part of his fight, he depends on breaking a guy down, Bob. He depends on discouraging a guy. But this might be the first time, or it is the first time, he has a guy in front of him who might not be discouraged. Doesn't mean he can't knock him out, but might not be discouraged. Is acting like a pro, is not falling apart. So Letterlough looking for that little extra help. Might not find it.
So you wonder if Letterlough, with the shoe on the other foot,
that's what I'm
the guy twice.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe, just maybe, he slows down just a little bit, just a little tiny bit, because his guy is not doing what the other guys did when they've been on the floor.
Teddy has it 76-74 in favor of Gonzalez. I have the same score, but I got there a different way.
See, one of the things, one of the elements, not your jab, not your switching ability, not your footwork, but one of the elements is to depend on breaking the other guy down. And he doesn't break down. Well, I'm not saying Letterlough's going to break down, but that's one less bullet in the chamber.
Teddy, though, Gonzalez is here on the inside, and Letterlough is not doing as much as he's done in the earlier rounds.
And it could be what we're talking about, not being in a situation before when he landed his power and the guy came back at him, being just a little bit confused about that, a little bit discouraged about that, and that could slow you down a little bit.
Both of these guys have, as you see, been past 8 rounds only once. Letterlough had that 10-round draw with Samuel Mara. Gonzalez had a 9th-round stoppage of Jesus Ruiz last year.
Even though I don't like Gonzalez inside, when he is inside, it's not a bad idea as long as you're there to go to the body, because we talked about it earlier. Even though earlier it didn't look like it was going to go all the way, but as the rounds go on, whoever goes to the body more is going to take a little extra out of the opponent. And this is the kind of fight that could come right down to the stretch. And those body punches could be important.
Letterlough lost the mouthpiece as he ate a right hand. We've had 3 knockdowns in this fight. Early in the 1st round, Julio Gonzalez tabs Julian Letterlough with a right hand. He went down. He got hurt later in that round. Round number 3, Letterlough returns the favor as he nails Gonzalez with a right hand. Good round for Letterlough. Then in round number 5, it's the left hand of Letterlough that scores a knockdown. But Gonzalez would get back up and actually do a lot of good work in that round, where you can make the case that that round was not 10-8 for Letterlough, but 10-9. And that's how we've arrived to round number 10. Although, Teddy, in the last 4 rounds, Gonzalez has had control of this fight.
Not necessarily because he's fighting completely the right fight. A little bit.
It's getting better.
A little bit better, exactly. He's not taking it all the way outside, but just a little bit. And that's enough to give him an advantage with the less experienced, less polished Letterlough. Also, even if he fights inside, Gonzalez has the advantage because he's a little more polished. But I still think it's the wrong place, because it gives, especially in this late part of the fight, with Letterlough fall behind, it gives Letterlough the one chance he needs to land something on the potato.
Teddy, you wonder if Letterlough has gotten a bit tentative on the inside. If you remember, right near the end of, I think, round 6, Gonzalez landed a perfect left hand to the body that took some steam out of Letterlough.
It sure did. Took some wind right out of those sails. Might have made him not so anxious to be moving his hands on the inside. Because sometimes you can leave that elbow up a little bit and leave an opening.
Wait to listen.
People think about the hands only being important to cover to the head. You got to keep those elbows in the body to protect those shots. Fighters are very wary of that.
Huge edge for Gonzalez according to CompuBox, and the punches landed more than 2-1.
And in fact, once in a while you'll see a fighter who's taking body shots start to drop his hands to protect the body.
Well, subtle change by Gonzalez in the last 3 or 4 rounds. He's kept the fight to the outside a bit more. And Letterlough not throwing as much inside when they do get close. Out goes Gonzalez from a counter shot.
Fighting the wrong fight.
He didn't stay outside long enough.
Fighting the wrong fight. I don't care if you're winning.
He says he's okay. Third time Gonzalez has been down to the right hand by Letterlough.
Mr. KO's going to get a KO. He's stepping back, giving himself room to punch.
Gonzalez can't tie him up. Now he does.
Break.
Third time in the fight that Gonzalez has been down.
When you're a warrior like Gonzalez, one of the problems in this situation, you just alluded to it, you haven't learned how to tie a man up.
Cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Can he make the last 13 seconds of this 10th round? Gonzalez doing it on sheer will right now. That's not a knockdown, that's a trip.
Nobody serves its purpose. It kills sometimes.
And there's the bell to end the round.
No, slip.
Gonzalez dropped again.
That was a slip. Hey. Come on, Julio, wake up. You all right?
Julio Gonzalez has been dropped again in round number 10. Teddy, we said he was doing a good job staying outside, but he got careless.
Hey, he got inside. He's not using his height. You're going to pay for it. And he pays with the right hand. The second time in this fight he's been dropped with a right hand. And his left hand's down. But more importantly, he's in close to the shorter, more powerful Letterlough. And he leaves an opening for that. Allows Letterlough to get back into the fight. What a fight, Bob.
Yeah, well, that tightened up my scorecard. Gonzalez's lead down to a point. I have it 94-93 for Gonzalez. He's been down 3 times, and a key on the judges' cards could be that 5th round, Teddy. Did they give Letterlough 10-8 when he dropped Gonzalez, or did they make it 10-9 because Gonzalez fought well for the entire round?
It could be a big part of this fight. Little loose tape there.
Bernie Profado. I like that. He's got scissors.
It's supposed to have them. It's supposed to have your tools. If you were a carpenter, you'd have a hammer. You'd have nails. You're a referee. You have to have a scissor just in case tape gets loose. You know, talking about that round, whether it was a 10-8 or a 10-9, that could tell this whole fight. That happened when I had years ago. There's a scorecard.
Stop.
Now you gave Letterlough the rounds where he scored a knockdown. The 3rd, the 5th, and the 10th. I gave him the 4th round, too. That was a close round. So it'll be interesting to see how the judges' cards are going to be.
Well, where a situation like that did turn a fight, and a world title fight for that was when I had Michael Moore back in '94 fighting Holyfield for the title. Moore got dropped in the 2nd round. He got up, and I thought he won the rest of the round. And some judges did too. And the judges made it a 10-9 round instead of 10-8. And we won by that 1 point. I thought they did a good job, by the way, I must say, because in all honesty, Moore came back and dominated the round except for the knockdown.
It'll be interesting to see how the judges scored that 5th round for Letterlough. And Letterlough goes down from the combination. He's saying it was a slip, that their feet got tied up. He says, he stepped on my foot. But a punch was thrown.
The left hook landed. He's right, he was off balance, his feet were stuck together, but the rules were administered properly by the referee. A punch landed as he went down, off balance or not.
Come on, box there, you're free, box.
Wow, what a fight.
But it's not the kind of knockdown that if this round stays close, that would motivate you necessarily to make it a 10-8 round. That's the key.
Well, Gonzalez is back up on his toes. He's recovered from that knockdown in the 10th.
Stop!
The control of this fight, again, I said it from the beginning, is in Gonzalez's hands, Bob. When he fights on the outside, uses his superior height and his technique, he's the better guy.
Break!
When he doesn't, Letterlough gets right back into the fight in any second. You can see the problems Letterlough has. I know it's late in the fight, he's tired, but he has problems with movement, problems with distance.
Gonzalez down 3 times in the fight, Letterlough twice.
Well, here comes another knockout. Now, this one was a little controversial, but you see a left hand land there, a little delay. Feet were together. No doubt Letterlough was off balance, but no doubt that a left hand landed.
Letterlough argued vehemently with referee Bernie Profado that they had their feet tied up, but there was a punch thrown and landed in that sequence. So you really cannot fault the referee, who's done a very good job in this fight. But you made it a 10-9 round, right?
Yes, I did.
Step back. Watch your head.
I made it just the right man, where a knockdown by Letterlough in this round, which is always possible, will make a draw.
I have it the same way.
Stop. Step back.
We got a little information sent to us that Letterlough, after the 7th round, hurt his right
Come on,
hand.
you're free boxing there. Come on, you're free boxing.
Didn't bother him in the 10th, though, when he dropped Gonzalez.
I'm so glad you said that. These guys, a lot of times, will pull out of fights and sort of find a way out with a bad hand. I'm not saying it's not bad, but then you, on the other side of the spectrum, you see so many fighters that get through it. And when they hurt a guy and they have to throw it, they throw it. They find a way to forget about the pain.
And neither of these guys has ever suffered a loss as a professional boxer, and they don't want one now. And you know Letterlough doesn't care about his right hand.
No, he doesn't. He cares about landing with either hand to try to pull this fight out of the fire and keep that 0 intact in his record.
Letterlough has scored 2 knockdowns with his right hand in this fight and 1 with his left.
You talk about the will of 2 men here. What tremendous will of these 2 men. And what adds to that is neither one have felt defeat yet. Neither one have learned how to lose. And they're giving it up very, very begrudgingly. They don't want to give up that 0.
Letterlough, though, not able to get his punches going. Gonzalez enough of a jab. Keep Letterlough at bay. Here's where Letterlough's got to do his damage.
Stop for me.
This is where the body shot by Gonzalez earlier could have helped him a little bit in this point of the fight. Take a little bit away from Letterlough.
Letterlough loses his mouthpiece as he got tagged.
He's lost it once before in this fight. Keeps his mouth open. Part of that is he's a little tired. What a fight, Bob. What a fight.
It's early, but it's the fight of the year. What a performance by Julian Letterlough and Julio Gonzalez. 5 knockdowns in the fight. Gonzalez down 3 times. Letterlough down twice. How the judges have it scored, we'll tally them up after this timeout. What a fight. Julian Letterlough, Julio Gonzalez. Over 1,900 punches were thrown in the fight. 330 power shots landed by Gonzalez, but he was dropped 3 times. Letterlough went down twice. Teddy Atlas's scorecard, the same as mine, 114-111 for Gonzalez, as we await the official cards from the judges. And now we send it up to our ring announcer for the official judges' scorecards as Bernie Profado gets the fighters to the middle of the ring. Here is Amy Hayes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Frank Garza scores the bout 113-110 Gonzalez. Judge Woody Calker scores the bout 114-109, and Gary Merritt scores the bout 114-109, all for your winner of the unified title and new IBA Intercontinental Champion, Julio Gonzalez.
I'll tell you, Julio Gonzalez got the unanimous decision win. Hard fought effort against Julian Letterlough.